It's called
Where We Heading?
Hello and welcome to a walk with me, Kim, and my friend Dan.
Hi.
This is officially, unofficially a podcast.
It is.
It's a new idea. It's a new thing we're trying. We think it's called Where Are We Heading?
Oh, it's definitely called Where Are We Heading?
It's definitely called Where Are We Heading?
That's the one thing we know.
That's the one thing we have for sure. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Me and Dan started walking when we were, how many months? No, we've been meeting up for the past year for a weekly walk a weekly walk to help us get through life.
Yes.
As a bit of a anchor to our week to co-regulate and comfort ourselves through the twists and turns of life being a bit hard. But we'll speak more about what our hard is in life.
Yes. Our challenges.
But a little bit about what we're up to right now, whether you're checking this out on maybe YouTube or listening online. We basically walk and talk, record it, walkie-talkie. We film it, we capture the audio, but we normally walk a lot around Margate and Thanet, because that's where we're from. But as the episodes continue, we'll be walking in lots of different places with different guests. It won't always be just us.
No, it won't be.
And
we're along for the journey.
We're sort of finding the answers as we go to try and help life be a little bit more manageable and balanced.
Yeah, hopefully we can learn something, and on that journey, hopefully you can learn something too. If you need to, you might know it all. In which case, come and join us on the podcast and tell us.
Help us.
Help us whilst we walk past some really noisy construction work.
There's an element of reality and life and unpolishedness to our podcast. Insert the drilling. But as we're literally learning as we go in life, and also learning as we go in, we've never done anything like this. We've never launched a podcast, or we're not really experts in filming, so just bear with us as we go along, and we're kind of happy to just go with the flow and for this whole thing to be a work in progress and see where it takes us. I've forgotten something really important though.
Well, I'm sure it'll come up at some point. I think podcasts have been around for a while, right? And so I think for both of us, when we first started talking about this, after being on a walk for our walks regularly, we thought it could be interesting to record it. We both had quite a lot of breakthrough moments on our walks and our talks, and we thought recording them might help us, but also gives us an opportunity to talk to other people as well, right?
Yeah, lots of breakthrough moments, lots of breakdowns.
Yeah, and we did initially start thinking about it, like sitting at a desk and doing the normal podcast routine, but then we just thought that's boring, and it's not us. It's not what we started this for. We wanted it to be authentic, and we wanted it to be original and just about us and our journey. So please join us for that.
The important thing I forgot was I need to introduce, this is Roxy.
Oh yeah.
I'm holding up a cute chihuahua who joins us for the walks, but Roxy's not in the mood to walk today. So sometimes I just carry her, and sometimes I wish you could just carry me when I'm not in the mood to walk.
I think we're carrying each other.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Emotionally. So this is welcome to the start of a bit of a new chapter for us.
Yes.
Should we talk a little bit about what brought us to the walks in the first place?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you go.
Me? Okay, cool. So basically, last year I got assessed and diagnosed with ADHD, thanks to a therapist that I saw many years ago, and who said that they basically couldn't help me anymore because she thinks I have neurodivergency. Why can't I ever say that word?
You said it really well, and it was beautiful. Okay. Neurodivergency.
And that I should see someone who specialises in that. So then she put me forward to the GP to get an assessment, and a few years later I got the assessment, and so I have ADHD, just tagged along with my dyslexia that I was diagnosed with many moons ago. So that diagnosis, along with cost of living crisis and taking on way too much work, I've worked way too much for the past 20 years in all reality, basically. And so I parted ways with half my clients. I'm an artist and producer manager in the music industry, by the way, which you'll find out a lot more about on our talks, and people that we talk with as well. You'll find out a lot more about that stuff. But yeah, essentially, after I gave up that work or parted ways with that work, I realized I was burnt out, basically. That was a real discovery of like losing like lots of motivation, losing any sort of like joy as well. It was like really down. I was really depressed and like low, and trying to basically, these walks were like trying to find out what that was about and how to get out of it and work it out with a friend, someone that I know and trust, and someone who I feel like we were on a similar path at that time as well. So those were our talks, and yeah, like I said a bit earlier, I've had many breakthrough moments through these chats, ones that we filmed and others that we haven't, and I'm looking forward to having some breakthrough moments with you and our guests as well.
Yeah.
How are you?
No, I guess I was having a minute where I was just a bit wrapped up in your story, and I was having a bit of a reflection on just how far like we've come.
Yeah.
Sorry, I will get back to what we're doing, but
celebrate that. Well, I think maybe in a way, this is a celebration of it. We're finally at a point.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I turned a corner very recently, the past 2 weeks. In fact, a close friend of mine who I love, sent me a message today saying, "Have you turned a corner? I've just noticed on your social media that you seem a lot better." And I was like, wow, yeah, I'm glad that's coming across, because I really feel like after the last 2 weeks, it's been, I've got my joy back, I've got my mojo back, I've got, like she said, juju or whatever it is, but I've got something back, and I'm not fully there yet, and I'd love to talk about what I've done to get to that point, because it's a lot. It's not just one thing.
No,
and
of course.
It is 9 months of work so far.
It is so nice when people, like, sometimes it takes someone externally to be like, "Hello, you," and you're like,
"You're back."
I'm back.
Yeah.
Or are you back? Or are you just renewed?
Yeah.
But it's so nice when other people start to notice. I had somebody who went on a few dates with recently, and like it didn't turn out to be a romantic thing, but it was really nice. A few sort of, I don't know, a couple of weeks after we decided like it wasn't that vibe, they said, "Don't you know what I really like? Is that everything you said you were going to do when we met up, you're doing?"
Yes.
And I was like, no one's ever fucking said that to me in my life. I'm queen of like, I got this huge idea, start. I struggle to finish, and I'm like ideas generation, but implementation is just like messy. But it was really nice to have someone who didn't know me very well just be like, "Hey, you're a doer, you do what you say you're going to do." And I'm like, no one's ever said that to me before.
I see you as that person. I don't know if you're being hard on yourself or you.
No, you don't know all the things that I want to do that I never finish.
But as in, like, especially the last year that we've been doing these walks, like you've got through what you've got through and released your first music in years. You started this. You're working through the challenges that you face, and you've also not only done that, but you've got a plan for the future as well that you're actively working towards and doing.
I'm having a go.
Great.
So I should say, a little bit about how I found myself really finding these walks as a lifeline. I was beyond burnt out, like as in not like there's a competition, but as in,
more burnt out than you.
There's Pain Olympics, you know what I mean? As in I feel like I had the warning signs from my body a year before.
Yeah.
My body a year before was like shutting down.
Okay.
And mentally I was getting lots of like almost like mental blackouts and stuff where I couldn't cognitively function.
Wow.
But I still went, I'll take on more work, I'll do more things.
Yeah.
And there was lots of reasons as to why I was doing that. A lot of it was avoidance.
Okay.
And a lot of it was just constantly feeling like I was never enough. And at the time, I maybe suspected some neurodiversity, but I didn't really have any answers. But didn't actually have wasn't in a financial position to seek out those answers. And I'd been on the NHS waiting list for ADHD and autism diagnosis for about a year. And it just felt like there was never going to be any relief.
Yeah.
And then my marriage ended, which then I was just focusing on like the emotional labour of processing that, and I sort of put the neurodiverse investigations on the back burner, even though it's all combined and intertwined. And now I know that my neurodiversity probably played a big impact on my marriage, and also in how I, handled like things emotionally afterwards. Like I just felt like a complete failure, and like I think that's quite a common thing in neurodiversity. Just feel like nothing's ever enough.
Yeah.
But eventually, last summer I had my assessments, and I wasn't autistic, but they said there's a reason why we suspected autism, is because they said I had CPTSD.
Okay. Yeah.
And some of my so they basically said what is presenting as that is actually this.
Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so
about what it is.
So I guess, I'm still learning.
Okay.
I'm probably not in a position to explain it very comprehensively, but basically it indicates that there's some trauma there that's still showing up in my day-to-day, in my short-term memory, in my day-to-day experiences, and I need to look at processing some of that. And
it's complex post-traumatic.
Yeah, post-traumatic distress disorder.
Yeah. It's like lots of little traumas, right, consistently, especially.
Right. Okay. I pulled that face because I'm not an expert in it.
That's my understanding.
Okay. Maybe we could get someone.
Yeah.
We've got a guest coming who might help us with explaining this, but. So, but I was diagnosed with ADHD, which made a lot of sense. And these walks, it was just a huge thing for me to have something in the diary every week that was like a constant, that I felt like it was safe to show up wherever I was at.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would show up like even when I thought I couldn't, and we'd still meet up and we'd still walk. And I've suffered from chronic fatigue for the last couple of years as well. So sometimes it's hard to move when you feel like you can't move at all, but then the movement is the thing that gives you energy.
Yeah, of course.
So this was the sort of kinetic side of it, and the somatic side of it has been really important. And also I think walking and talking and not having to hold eye contact.
Yeah,
even though
interesting.
I don't feel like we would have to do that anyway, but it's just feel like it's nice to feel like I can unmask and not have that pressure.
Wow, I've not thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's the same reason why like having some more intentional conversations like in the car is good, because you're like, with neurodiverse people, we don't have to. We can look at lots of things.
Spin-off series.
Yeah, where are we driving?
Where are we parking?
Where are we parking? Where we reverse parallel parking. I think that's my story. I work in the creative industries. It's kind of it's a hard place to balance your well-being with your financial and professional goals and ambitions, and I've struggled with that balance. And burning out, I didn't have any choice. I had to stop a lot of the projects that I enjoyed working on. I haven't released music for 6 years for many different reasons, but I think struggling from burnout is definitely one of them. And I also, it's a little bit wanky, but I consult people on how to show up more authentically online. So I'm an authenticity and visibility consultant.
That could be good for this podcast.
I help people show up and feel less gross about showing up online. I hope maybe we could do some work on as well, because I think you've got a great online presence.
So do you. Well, that's very kind. But I feel like I've been inspired by you and the conversations that we've had and your understanding of social media and content. It's interesting because part of my role as an artist manager is to kind of work through kind of social media strategy and content with
huge.
Artists. But it's a lot easier telling someone or advising someone or guiding someone through what they should be doing than taking the advice yourself and doing it and keeping up with it.
It's hard showing up consistently, and you've got to protect your energy. But it's a lot. But that's what online is all about. It's meant to be a telephone conversation, so two-way, not a TV broadcast. And I think that's where sometimes people get confused about socials. They think it's it's a megaphone, but it's actually just a conversation. And that's what I'd love for this to feel like, is our conversation being shared, but it sparks so many other conversations between other people and also between us and them. Like, that would be my dream for this, I guess.
It was also interesting because I want to mention about digital burnout, which is a real thing that a lot of artists that I've worked with have experienced. And I think that's very important for both of us, that this isn't giving us extra work to do. Yeah. So that's also why maybe production values aren't going to be like
our
completely
priority.
Polished.
No.
We're just recording what's happening,
Yeah.
And talking to people who we would like to talk to about this anyway to learn. So yeah.
Done is better than perfect is my new thing. And I've stolen it from someone. I think maybe it's either Martha Beck or Elizabeth Gilbert. But,
okay. Well, shout outs to them.
Shout out to them.
There's two things that you spoke about that I'd like to kind of touch upon. Both of us have kind of experienced the end of something to get us to realise what actually is happening.
Yeah.
So like the death of something is the birth of something else, which is really interesting. And also the ADHD trait of not feeling ever like you're enough.
Yeah.
For me, that kind of relates to like childhood and just like everything being like, oh, you're good, but not like you could try harder, or like, like teacher reports, or like how people see you and stuff like that. Just the fucked up thing is that it's like it looks, to some people it looks like you're not trying at all when you're trying so hard. And I had it the other day when I was on the way to somewhere. I was a bit nervous about meeting someone, and I was so nervous that I overthought everything I did before. Right. Yeah.
And then I was like an hour late. And it looks like I don't care because I'm an hour late, but I'm an hour late because I overdid everything on my path and my journey to get here today. So even if you're like, oh, I'm going to meet this person, I want to wear this white top. So I'll be like, I'll just pop that in on a quick wash and then dry it quick before we go there. But instead, I'll be like, I'm going to get all the white things in the house that need washing, maybe the sheets, and then I have to hang out all the things to dry before we go, and then bring it back in. And I was like, there was loads of simple things I had to do before I left, but I made them all complicated because I was nervous.
Yeah, fair.
And that's no comfort to the person who's like, you're an hour late, and you're like, I'm an hour late because I really care.
Yeah.
And that sounds so like messed up, and like it doesn't make any sense at all, but it's just like, I care so much that I actually mess up the thing I really care about.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that loads.
That's interesting, and I suppose that's like something to talk about as well, especially with burnout. It's like what to focus, what's your priority.
Yeah.
Like, because
so bad at that.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah. But everything feels urgent.
Yeah.
I have zero. Everyone's like, make a priority of this. I'm like, everything's important. I can't tell what's important, what's not, because everything feels like it's on fire.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's it's so easy to see everything as like, how can you split it up into and also blah, 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 blah. How do you work out how long everything's going to take? That for me is
it's impossible.
I just don't know. I just can't. Total time blindness.
Either I allocate like 3 hours to do something that takes 3 minutes, or I allocate 3 hours to take something that actually takes 3 days.
Yeah.
But like, for example, that thing with, I'll wash the top. No, I'll wash everything before I go out. That's me going like, well, an adult doesn't just wash one top. That's not the responsible thing to do. I'm going to, get your shit together. We need to wash everything. And then you're like, and now I'm late. I was trying to be an adult to wash everything.
Did you wear the original thing?
No, of course I didn't. I was like, I just changed the outfit. And you're like, didn't need to be done. But I was like, I've got to wear the perfect thing. It's got to be like completely fresh, I've got to wear the right fabric conditioner. Oh, and then you're like, now I'm late.
That's it. Final thoughts and points for this episode, this first episode, because this is a short one. We have got some recorded already that I'm really excited about putting out. Really, there's some great conversations there, and we've just literally sent a whole bunch of emails to some very amazing, lovely people who are going to have as guests to put down some dates. I'm really excited about this journey with you, Kim. I don't know where we're heading. I don't know where we're heading, but we'll see where this all takes us. Yeah. I guess a few housekeeping things is whether you're listening to this, if you're not following us on Instagram or TikTok, give us a little cheeky follow.
So stay in touch, and if you've got any ideas for who might be interesting for us to walk and talk with, drop us a message. Let us know.
Yeah, and same with production stuff. If there's any
advice, any tips.
And the logo for the podcast is designed by the wonderful and beautiful Jane Horgan Illustrates.
Whoop whoop.
And I've been Dan Garber.
I've been and still am.
Are you?
Kim.
That's it. I'm done. I'll be someone else next episode.
All right. We'll chat soon.
Love you lots.
Bye.
Bye.